Just before we get started, I just wanted to give my condolences to the family of Claude Humphrey. Obviously, Claude was a great player in this league and a great person, and another guy that was from Memphis that ended up coming here to Atlanta. So just wanted to send my condolences to his family. With that, I'll open it up.
Yeah, Coach, you get the touchdown right before the half and then come out and drive in, and then the fumble happens. How deflating was that for when you had the opportunity to take the lead here?
Well, I wouldn't call it deflating. I mean, those are mistakes that you don't want to obviously make there, D-Led. But our mindset is, I mean, if you're going to say things that deflate you or concern you in the middle of the game, it's a battle. We got to be cleaner with the football. There's no doubt about that. That's obvious. But deflate, that's not a word we use. So we're going to keep fighting and swinging.
How damaging it was for your effort today? You got a chance to take the lead, and then you didn't have.
You can rephrase it however you want. I mean, they made a play. We got to continue to work on that. We'll be cleaner. Call it damaging, call it deflating. We don't use those words. D-Led, we continue to swing and fight, and we'll fight till the finish.
Michael? Yeah, Arthur, take me through, I guess, the thought process of the play calling, down at the goal line, you had first and goal on the one.
What part of it?
Just, I guess, why not try to run the ball?
We did. We had a fumble snap. So,
Definitely.
you want to chime into our headset? I'll show you the call sheet.
So, I guess, were there things that you saw, maybe no play action,
Yeah.
on that?
I mean, like, you're asking a pretty, you have a question here. So the thought process was you're trying to call plays to score touchdowns. I mean, that's pretty obvious, Michael. I mean, that's kind of a pretty obvious. So, again, what are you asking? Are you asking the type of plays called?
Yeah, I guess, was there something that you saw that you felt?
Yeah, I wouldn't have called it if I didn't. I mean, you're asking kind of the, like, no-brainer. Like, you don't call plays to think, hey, let's hope this works. We don't think it's going to work. Like, that's just if you're asking if we had called a run, yes, we did. And we had a snap issue.
Why do you feel like there's been so many offensive issues? It's 3 of the last 4 games.
What kind of issues?
You're not scoring. I mean, you haven't scored points offensively.
We didn't do what?
You have 1 touchdown in 3 of the last 4. Like in 3 of the last 4 games, you have 1 offensive touchdown. Where do you feel like your biggest offensive issues are?
We had 1 offensive touchdown and 4. So however you want to phrase it. Look, we've continued to improve, Michael. So, again, I understand what you're trying to ask to create a narrative. If you look at the last 2 games, we've been pretty good running the football. Had a chance here. It's a good football team. We made too many, we turned the ball over. You make some mistakes. It's hard to beat a good football team like that. So if you want to score stats in certain spots to fit a narrative, great. All I know is this team's improved. You look at last week, you look at this week. I don't have the number in front of me, but I know we had over 150 yards rushing. So however your mind works.
How much did the way the halftime score and the way the game went affect the second half play calling, your second half play calling?
Well, still, the game was never really when you got to get in the hurry up at the end. 10-point game for, as you get into it, still early in the fourth quarter, it's not going to alter your game plan.
Tori?
Tampa Bay had 11 quarterback hits and 5 sacks, and y'all had 1 quarterback hit.
Right.
How did that, I guess, those 2 stats shape this game?
Yeah, certainly the sacks are going to hurt you. And when you read a stat like that, they did a nice job protecting. They kept Brady clean. Obviously, it's everybody's intention to get after the quarterback. They did a nice job. They got good players up front. Certainly, we'll look at it and see what could we tweak here. But yeah, that's usually a pretty good tell of how it went.
Steve, well, I guess following up on that, is there really any way to defend Brady if you don't get pressure on him?
Sure. I mean, make the balls, catch the ones he throws you. And Marlon caught one. He threw Dion another one. We didn't catch it. So he's a great player. But certainly, if he gives you opportunities, we got to make a play on the ball. But there's other ways to defend him. But he is a great player. What's that, Josh?
How close were you to going for it on
If
second
it had
half?
been in fourth, probably 8 or less, that's when you would have considered it. 4th and 12, where the ball's at midfield. The way they're rushing, the odds are stacked against you there, and you're basically going to hand them the ball with 1 first down away pretty much for field goal. So we punted it down there. We had confidence, and to their credit, they made plays and they converted. And that's how the game ended.
Do you need to reassess your center rotation again?
We'll reassess everything every Monday.
How do you feel like that went today?
Well, I have to watch the film. I mean, if the surface level, the snaps, we got to clean that up to surface level. So that's kind of but we got to look at the film. And Vita Vea is a good nose. They got good guys in front.
Anybody else? Jeff? I'm just curious, you're 5-7, but you're still in the
Sure,
playoff
still in the mix.
Is there anything you do as a head coach to sort of convey to your players about, we're still in it?
Sure.
What we have to do?
Yeah, that's a good question, Jeff. Because again, you know how it is. You've covered sports a long time, so you're sitting there looking at it. You want to shape it up in your mindset. The truth is, we're still in the mix. We got 5 games to go. It's a lot of football left, and like I said, we'll get back to work. We've seen a lot of improvement the last 2 weeks, and we're excited about the challenge to go on the road again and play a divisional opponent. So we got to be ready to go because the opportunity is still there, Jeff, and it's a great point. And they know that, we know it, and that'll be our charge.
Coach, the Tampa Bay was only able to run the ball 17 carries, 57 yards. Do you think that that's a recipe for wins going forward, being able to keep a team one-dimensional, still being in the game, even though they had so much success passing?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of who they are. I mean, I believe going into this game, they're 31st in the league in rush attempts. I mean, they got good players up front. When they got the talent level they got outside, and you got Brady at quarterback, and they protect pretty well for most of the year. I mean, they throw it. I mean, that's always kind of been Bruce Arians' MO. They got a decent run game, and they have to run it when they need to. But that wasn't a surprise. I mean, if you look at the numbers going into this thing.
You're 4-5 at Mercedes-Benz Stadium this year. Is there something that you guys are doing well on the road that maybe it's just not working at home?
We constantly look at everything. We didn't win the ones that I felt we should have. I mean, there's a reason why. Some of it's matchup based. We got to play better, certainly at home. So there's a lot of factors to it.
Anything else? Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Okay.
Not getting in the end zone after that first drive, how did that kind of shape the way that this game went for you guys?
That was tough. Obviously, had an opportunity there on the goal line, and to not come away with 7 points is one of those things we got to do a better job of. As we move forward, when you're playing against a good football team, a really good defense, really good offense, an offense that can score. You have to come away with touchdowns. So that part was disappointing for sure. But we kept battling and gave ourselves more chances, which is what you have to do. You can't blink. But if we're looking for areas of improvement, that's definitely one of them.
I know the run game over the last 2 weeks has really kind of taken a step in the right direction. I know Arthur Smith has talked a lot about staying on schedule, and I was just curious from your perspective how that has improved in the course of the last 2 weeks.
I thought we ran the ball well. First drive of the game was really good, and we continued to hammer away at it. And I thought our offensive line, running backs did a nice job with that. And it helps. It opens other things up and helps in that area. So I do think we made strides. We're getting better. Now we've got other things that we've got to clean up along the way, but that was productive for us.
Several of your teammates have expressed confidence today about where you are. Do you share that confidence?
I think you have to. I think we're in a spot, obviously disappointed with the outcome of today's game with this really good football team. And I think, I really think there were chances for us to kind of change the outcome of that game. We've got to be opportunistic as we move forward. But we have everything we want right in front of us. And ultimately, this time of the year, that's really all you can ask for. Now it's about, figuring out how to play, our best football in the next 5 weeks. And I don't think you can get too far down the road. I think you really just have to focus on this next week and find a way to get a good divisional win on the road.
How do you communicate to them that confidence is great and we've done some positive things, but we now also have to get over the hump?
Yeah,
How do you balance that?
I think that's, you always want to have self-belief. And at the same time, you got to strive for daily improvement. That's one of the things Art talked about in the first meeting that we have. And so we've got to get back to work. We've got to seek that growth this week and really work on that during practice. And at the same time, know that there are plays that are being made. There are things that we are doing well, and we got to build on those. We have to make more of those types of plays, throughout the game, and I think we're capable of doing that.
Now, you all had it going early offensively, but then it went to, punt, fumble, punt, and then into the end zone there. What were you all not able to sustain?
We had spurts, but the consistency, wasn't there. I think we were very consistent the first couple drives of the game. Take away, what we did, not scoring a touchdown, on the goal line. But I think there was better consistency there early, and we just got to find ways to keep drives going and then finish drives. When we get our chances, when we have our chances, we can't give them anything. And I think there were a few plays today, a few opportunities that we all have to find a way to make those plays when we get those chances.
Yeah, Big Marlon gets the score. You're sitting, 2017 at the half. I know you wanted to come out and score there, but the fumble, Russ hadn't made a good play. Like he was, in 37 that territory. What happened there? How tough was that, dealing with that situation, trying to move on from that?
Well, I thought our defense did a nice job after that of getting another stop and giving us, an opportunity to still go down there and take the lead. And so, it's hard. Physical mistakes happen, and that's part of sport. Those kind of things happen at different times. Are they inopportune? For sure. And I thought Russ bounced back and did some really good things for us coming in late and made some plays and toughed it out there at the end, and I appreciate him for that. And so there are things we got to clean up for sure, and we got to, we really, when we have our explosives and we make our plays, we've got to capitalize on those drives. And I think if we're going to be successful moving forward, those are the things we have to do. I'm sorry.
What happened at the botch after the goal?
That's just, an execution thing we both have to be better at. And, across the board, there's just no excuse for it. And so we both got to do a better job of that.
With the play calls that were made after goal line on that possession, did you check out of anything there, or is that what Arthur called?
No, those are the calls. And so, again, we got to find a way to make those plays. Got to find a way for something to come open. But really, I mean, it's first and second down, you still have opportunities on your second and third down. I mean, we had a penalty there as well. So we really have 4 chances. And we got to find a way to make a play. And even, with it not being ideal, we still had a chance on third down. And, regardless of whether it's first down, second down, or third down, we got to find a way to punch it in.
Why do you feel like this offense, 3 of the last 4 games, has been unable to finish drives and score touchdowns?
I don't know. I think, we've done some good things, for sure. But we got to get back to work. We got to find the answer to that so that, in our stretch of the last 5 games of the year of the regular season, we got to find a way to be better. And if we had the answer, we'd change it, immediately, but we got to find a way to do it.
How does your confidence square with what the production has been offensively for you last week?
It's been good. I really think, I always view confidence probably differently than you guys. I think that, it comes down to how you work during the week, how well prepared you are going into a game, what's your practice week look like, what's your film study look like, what's your preparation with the plan. And in professional sports, it's tough because, if you're only deriving confidence from results, it's not always going to go your way. And does our production need to be better? Absolutely. But the belief, has to remain the same that, as we get ourselves prepared during the week, we're going to make those plays as we move forward when we have our chances.
Your pass protection today, what's your comment on that? We got the stats and numbers.
Yeah, I think, we're going against a good defense and a good, front seven. And we knew going into it, sometimes there's going to be tough sledding. And it's important that you try and protect the ball as best you can, stay on schedule to eliminate some of those opportunities. But I thought our guys battled up front. I really did. I thought they played hard.
Matt, how tired are you of congratulating Tom Brady after a football game? And what do you think it's going to take to flip that script at the end?
We'd like to win. Yeah, we'd like to win. That's for sure. But we've got to find a way, in division to win football games, whether it be against Tom, whether it be the, Carolina Panthers coming up this week. We've got to find a way to get the job done in division. And those games are always critical, because they count basically 1.5 as you're going. And so, I'd certainly like to beat them. There's no doubt about that. But I just think, we got to focus on what's in front of us, and then we'll figure out, that whole deal the next time we play them.
I'm just curious, obviously it's Arthur's first year as a head coach. You've had some good moments, you've had some frustrating moments. You had both today, really. How's he handled these things? Has his messaging been consistent? Have there been a quarterback that learning moments where he's kind of had to change his tune a little bit?
I think his messaging has been consistent, from the start of what he expects from us. I think the guys have bought in and done a great job of that, of trying to do what they're asking us to do. We all need to play better. We all need to find ways to win more games than we have up until this point. But as far as from a leadership standpoint and, being consistent with the guys and keeping the messaging the same and every day, trying to get better and trying to get the best out of guys, he's been very good at that.
Is there any moment that stood out to you in terms of how he's handled?
Well, I think it's all year. I mean, it's about kind of not riding that roller coaster of being consistent, not getting too high. In some of the wins that we've had some really good comeback wins, some stuff that you should be proud of for sure. And I think he's done a great job of kind of navigating that roller coaster that can be the NFL season of staying consistent, focusing on what's next, getting back in, making corrections, whether we win or lose, being objective and being honest, on Mondays, and then coming in with a great energy on Wednesdays of what the plan is for us moving forward. And I think he's done a great job of that.
Y'all been able to be pretty consistent these last couple of games running the ball with Cordell Patterson. I'm just curious as to how do you find it? Seems like you ended up with 13 touches how do you find the balance between, okay, I want to get this guy a certain amount of carries versus saying, okay, this guy's hot, we need to ride his hot hand?
Yeah, I think, you know, that's for the staff. I mean, I think they work really hard on trying to get guys going, get guys involved. I think early on, you know, an explosive run for us that set up the touchdown on basically the next play. I think it was Mike who came in for the next run. And so, you know, we got complete trust in both those guys to go out there and execute what we're, you know, asking them to do. But I think, you know, it falls on the coaches to find a, you know, balance of keeping guys fresh, you know, which is what you want for the fourth quarter, keeping their juice flowing and making sure, you know, that they're not overworked. But I think they've struck a good balance of that because CP's production has been great.
As far as Kyle Pitts, you know, you started off with some solid production in the first half, and it seemed like we had like 2 targets in the second half. Like, is that just a matter of just the flow of the game, or do you think that Kyle may be doing something that may or may not be doing something that, you know, be able to get him the football?
No, I think Kyle's doing a great job. I think it's just how the game shakes out sometimes and the coverages that are called. You know, they see that too, and they make adjustments to try and take away some of what he's doing. And I think, you know, he's got to stay the course. Kyle's done a great job in his rookie season of hammering away week in and week out, trying to get better. And I thought his route running was really good today. And it's just, I tell our guys all the time, you know, the ball's going to find you at different times, but the coverage is going to dictate where we go. And when it's your time, you know, and your number's call, you got to make that play. And he's done a good job of that this year.
Anything else?
All right, thank you.